Y'all, grab your tea and hold on tight because what we're about to break down is nothing short of terrifying, heartbreaking, and absolutely messy. Martell Holt, yes, the same Martell from Love and Marriage Huntsville, is fighting for his life right now after a horrific crash that has the internet spiraling into chaos. But baby, it's not just a simple accident. The whispers, the secrets, the eerie Instagram posts days before, it's all coming out now, and we're not leaving a single stone unturned. Let's rewind a bit. Just a few days ago, Martell was living his usual high-profile, drama-laced life. You know, public feuds, headline-making co-parenting drama with Melody Shorey. Yes, that Melody. And of course, all the side eyes from his rumored romances. But none of that even comes close to what happened next. What was supposed to be just another low-key night turned into a life-threatening disaster. Sources say Martell had been at a private function in Huntsville, nothing too flashy, very under the radar. Witnesses claimed he was in a good mood, smiling, chatting, totally at ease. But just a few hours later, at around 11:47 p.m., emergency dispatchers got the call that changed everything. Martell's black luxury SUV had crashed hard, like flipped over and into a ditch hard. First responders say the car was completely destroyed. Airbags deployed, windshield shattered, the whole front end obliterated. And Martell found unconscious, lifeless, alone. Now here's where things get weird. Like Hollywood, their witnesses said they heard screeching tires. And some even mentioned a loud pop right before the crash. A gunshot, maybe? That hasn't been confirmed by police, but fans are already running wild with theories. And get this, Martell's phone? Missing? Gone. Poof. And his wallet found burned on the passenger seat. What? Y'all, this wasn't no regular accident. There was no second vehicle, no skid marks, no signs of him slamming on brakes. The road was empty, the sky was clear. So how did he end up flipped in a ditch with half his stuff either gone or torched? Some are saying maybe he fell asleep at the wheel. Others think it was a health emergency, but online detectives are shouting something way more sinister, like maybe someone was following him. Maybe someone wanted him gone. Martell was rushed to the hospital, unconscious, bloodied, and barely clinging to life. The hospital staying tight-lipped for now, but insiders whispered he's suffering from a concussion, multiple broken ribs, and internal bleeding. And honey, that's just the beginning. When fans found out, social media exploded. At first, people thought it was a hoax, a troll rumor, just some messy blog chatter. But by sunrise, it was clear. Martell was in the ICU and this was serious. Pray for Martell started trending. People flooded Instagram, Twitter, and even TikTok with prayer videos, old clips, and desperate calls for updates. One fan tweeted, "I don't care what he's done in the past. Nobody deserves this. Praying for Martell." Another wrote, "Reality TV or not, this is someone's father, someone's son. I hope he pulls through." But as always with internet fame, love and support weren't the only things flying around. People started digging hard. Some fans pointed to a cryptic Instagram story Martell had posted just 2 days before the crash. The caption, "Some folks smile in your face while digging the dirt for your grave. Be careful who you trust." You. Guys, now rewind. That post paired with the missing phone, the burned wallet, the lack of brake marks, it's all starting to sound like something straight out of a crime docuseries. Even his ex, Melody Shorey, started trending. Some fans begged her to visit him in the hospital. Others dragged her silence, speculating if she knew more than she was letting on. But let's be fair, Melody kept quiet, and that silence, it only fueled the fire. Meanwhile, YouTube and podcast hosts went wild. Everyone, from gossip vloggers to former castmates, started weighing in. Some hinted that Martell might have been the target of an inside job, someone close to him, maybe from the show, maybe from his business circle. There's been chatter for months that Martell was in the middle of messy business deals and personal beefs. This accident, they're saying, might not be an accident at all. And just when you think it couldn't get more twisted, boom! A fan-run Facebook group dropped the ultimate tea. Apparently, someone from the Love and Marriage Huntsville production team leaked footage of Martell in a screaming match with an unknown man just days before the crash. Coincidence? Or clue? So let's rewind the clock, babe, because whatever happened on that dark road didn't start there. The chaos brewing in Martell Holt's life had already hit a boiling point in the 2 days before the crash. And now that fans are connecting the dots, it's looking a lot less like bad luck and a whole lot more like a setup. Let's start on the morning of the accident. Martell was seen at a local business meeting. Okay, nothing unusual there. He's always got some new venture or side hustle. But people who were there said the vibe was off. Sure, he smiled, cracked a joke or two, but underneath it all, tension. One attendee even said it felt like Martell was forcing it, like he was holding back some serious emotions. Turns out the meeting wasn't just about business. It was about a failed deal, one that had gone sour and left some people mad, like dangerously mad. Sources say Martell was trying to keep it professional, but you could see it in his eyes. Something had shifted. After that, Martell hit a coffee shop and met with a close friend. What did they talk about? No one knows exactly, but here's where the timeline gets real murky. Because after that coffee meetup, Martell got a phone call. And who was it from? None other than his ex-wife, Melody Shari. You heard me. According to sources, they spoke for about 15 minutes. Melody allegedly expressed concern for their kids and for Martell's mental health. But here's where it gets dark. Insiders say that call didn't end on a good note. Whatever was said hit Martell hard. Some people believe that conversation sent him spiraling emotionally, and it could have had everything to do with what happened later that night. Martell has always been a controversial figure, loved and hated in equal measure. But even his fiercest critics are rooting for him now. Because beneath the bravado, the reality TV chaos, and the headlines, he's a man, a father, a human being who almost lost everything in the blink of an eye. And maybe, just maybe, this crash was the wake-up call he never knew he needed. Just when everyone thought things couldn't get any more emotional, Martell Holt's mother stepped into the spotlight. And what she said left fans sobbing. After days of speculation, prayers, and absolute radio silence from the family, Martell's mom finally came forward in a heartfelt social media video. Dressed in a simple sweater, no glam, no pretense, just raw emotion. She looked directly into the camera and pleaded, "Please continue to pray for my son. He's fighting, he's in pain, and we are holding on to our faith. We thank you for your prayers. God's not done with Martell yet." Ooh, the internet broke down. Fans flooded her comments with love, encouragement, and tearful replies. Some reposted the video over and over with captions like, "A mother's pain hits different," and "We're all praying with you." Even bloggers who had dragged Martell in the past hit pause on the shade and joined the prayer train. Because, say what you will about Martell's drama-filled past, this moment reminded everyone that behind every headline is a mother scared to lose her son. And speaking of drama, there's still a lot hanging in the air. That mysterious Instagram story? Still no clarification. That alleged leaked footage of Martell fighting just days before the crash still hasn't been verified. His missing phone? Still not found. But while the conspiracy theories rage on, Martell's inner circle is keeping things tight. One close friend told a gossip blog off record that they believe Martell was being followed that night. But until there's official confirmation, it remains a rumor, albeit a chilling one. Fans are demanding OWN respond now. Here's something the public isn't staying silent about. The OWN network. Martell is one of the most polarizing stars on Love and Marriage Huntsville, and yet crickets. No official statement, no support posts, not even a repost of the Pray for Martell trend. And fans, they're not having it. One furious user tweeted, "Martell gave that show years of his life. He built that platform, and now he's fighting for his life and OWN won't even acknowledge it? Ridiculous." Another added, "Love and Marriage wouldn't be Love and Marriage without Martell Holt. Say what you want, but he is the show. The pressure is on. People want answers. They want support. And they want respect for someone who has, for better or worse, poured his messy, vulnerable, and very real life onto national TV. Could this be Martell's redemption arc?" Now let's talk about the real elephant in the room. What's next for Martell? Will he recover physically? Will he return to the show? Or is this the beginning of a brand new chapter? Sources close to Martell say he's already started reflecting on his past decisions, that he's talking about going to therapy, not just for the accident, but for everything. The affairs, the public feuds, the toxic co-parenting, the failed friendships, all of it. One friend said Martell has been journaling while in the hospital, writing letters he never plans to send, trying to process everything he's been through and everything he put others through. And honestly, maybe this is his shot at redemption. We've seen celebs fall apart and bounce back before, but rarely do we get to witness someone fully break and then rebuild in real time. If Martell comes back from this, and that's still a big if, he may not be the same man, and maybe that's a good thing. Because let's be real, before the crash, Martell was spiraling. You could see it in his social media posts. The constant tension, the cold stares, the shade toward Melody, the angry rants. He was drowning in his own storm, but too proud to ask for a life raft. Now, life didn't just hand him a wake-up call. It slammed on the brakes, flipped the car, and demanded he slow down. Will Melody visit him? Now everyone wants to know, is Melody going to the hospital? Will she visit him? Reconnect? Say something? So far, Melody has remained silent publicly. But a verified source told a major blog that she's aware of his condition and has checked in through family channels. Whatever that means. It doesn't sound like she's rushing to his bedside. And who can blame her? Their relationship was messy, painful, and broadcasted to the world. Healing from that kind of heartbreak takes time, but fans are still hoping. Because a moment like this, when life hangs by a thread, has a way of healing wounds you thought would never close. One fan tweeted, "Even if they never get back together, I just hope Melody shows up for him just once, just so he knows he's not alone." The road to recovery and the unknown ahead. Doctors say Martell's physical injuries could take up to a year to fully heal. His mobility is limited, he's in pain every day. But the hardest part may be ahead, facing the emotional wreckage. He's got to rebuild his image, reconnect with his children, re-examine every relationship he's burned along the way. And let's not ignore the pressure of public life. Everyone is watching, waiting, judging, hoping, and that weight, it's heavy. But there's still hope. Despite everything, despite the crash, the rumors, the silence, the guilt, there's still a heartbeat. There's still a chance. And maybe, just maybe, this moment will birth a new Martell. One who leads with grace, not ego. One who apologizes, not deflects. One who fights, not just to survive, but to become someone his children can truly admire. So while Martell Holt lies in that hospital bed, bandaged, bruised, and battling demons we may never fully understand, the world watches with bated breath. Because this story, it's far from over. And who knows, the next headline might not be about a crash or a scandal or a tweet, but about a man who rose from the wreckage, and we'll be here to spill every drop of tea as it happened.